People think death is silent. They are wrong. Death sounds like 1,000 trains arriving at the same moment. No tracks, no station, just the sound. On the 22nd of May, 1960, when the ocean closed over me, I could not hear my own bones breaking because the world was screaming louder than I was. My name is Segundo. I was a fisherman from Valdivia, and that day I learned that surviving is not always the easier thing. They said 6,000 died. That number, I could not hold it. For me, it was 4. That Sunday morning, everything was very normal. Marta had been up before dawn. She always did that on Sundays. Carlos was 8. He always wore his tie crooked. Little Elena, she never wanted her shoes on. And Rosa was only 2. She just laughed at everything. I was on the boat early that morning. The nets, the water, the same as every Sunday before. The sea was my home. I had worked it since I was 12. That morning, the birds were gone, the water flat, like something holding its breath. When I left the harbor, Marta was on the shore. All 3 my children beside her. "See you tonight," I called. She smiled. I have carried it for 60 years. If I had known, I would have gone to shore. I would have taken her hand and never let go. But I did not know. Nobody knew. That morning looked exactly like every other morning before it. The sun, the water, Marta waving from the shore, the last ordinary morning there would ever be. At 3:11 in the afternoon, the world ended. But that morning was still whole. The sea said nothing. Even the wind was quiet. I should have listened to the silence. I had heard silence before. I pulled my nets, I watched the shore disappear, and I waited for evening. It was just after 3 in the afternoon. I felt something under my feet, under the boat. Not the sea, the earth itself. Then the roar came. Up through my feet, thrown left then right, like something in a giant's hand. I grabbed the mast, both arms around it, and I held. I held, and I held, and I held. I looked toward the shore, Valdivia. Dust, buildings falling like they were made of paper. In seconds, Marta was in that city. The children were in that city. And I was on the water. And I could not move. The earthquake held me there. 10 minutes of nothing I could do. 10 minutes is a very long time when you are watching a city fall. Then the earthquake stopped, just stopped. And the silence was almost worse than the sound. And the sea began to pull back. I saw the ocean floor, the harbor completely dry, fish on the mud. I had never seen that. Not in 40 years on the water. A fisherman knows what that means. The sea does not pull back without reason. It was not retreating, it was gathering. Then I saw it. A black line on the horizon. At first I thought it was a storm cloud. But it grew. It grew too fast for a storm cloud, and then it blocked the sun. I should tell you, The sound was not musical. It was the sound of a machine large enough to swallow a factory. There was no time to think, only to hold. I hooked my elbow through the mast and I closed my eyes. When it hit, everything went dark. Just dark. I do not know how long it lasted. Maybe 10 seconds, maybe a minute. There was no time down there. Then I felt something hard. A piece of the boat, a door, something. I was pinned against it. And right then, I heard something inside my right leg. A sound, bone. But I did not feel pain, not yet. When I opened my eyes, I was in a tree, far from where the water should have been. The flood had carried me there. I looked down. There was a crack in the bone below my knee. The skin was not broken, but I knew something was wrong underneath. I tried to stand. I could not. But all I could think of was Marta, the children. So I did the only thing I could do. I pulled myself forward with my arms through the mud. The leg, I kept it still and let it drag. I do not know how long I crawled. My arms, they stopped feeling like mine. But I did not stop. Marta was in my mind. Carlos, Elena, Rosa. As long as I could still think their names, I could still move. Marta, I shouted, or I think I shouted. My ears were still full of the wave sound. I do not know if my voice left my body at all. I found a piece of wood. I used it to stand on one leg, and then I saw the town. People passed me, some bleeding, some just staring at nothing. Nobody stopped to help anybody. I cannot be angry about that. Everyone had their own Marta, their own Carlos. Everyone had their own end of the world that day. Each step on that wood sent something sharp up through my leg. I stopped counting steps. I only counted the names I still needed to find. I recognized the baker's wall. Half of it still standing. That meant I was close to home. I knew this street my whole life. Even broken, I knew where I was going. I just had to keep moving. When I reached my town, I did not recognize it. There were no streets, only mud. There were no buildings, only wreckage. I had to count streets in my head. There was nothing left to look at. Only the shape of the land told me where I was. I saw a man, about my own age. He was digging through a pile of broken wood, a sound I had never heard a man make before. I did not stop. What could I have done? I could not even help myself. I came to the corner where our house stood. I had turned that corner 10,000 times. This time, there was only flat mud. Not one stone from the foundation. Not one piece of the roof, nothing. As if the house had never existed. I went there anyway. I fell to my knees and I began to dig. With my hands, with my palms. My nails broke. I did not feel it. My leg was screaming at me. I did not hear it. Marta! Carlos! Elena! Rosa! I shouted until the dark took the mud from my own hands. The search teams came 3 days later. They gave an official number, 6,000. That number meant nothing to me. For me, it was 4. Marta, Carlos, Elena, Rosa. Rosa was only 2. A child that age only knows how to laugh. Why did I leave? I was on the boat, in open water. Marta was on the shore, the children beside her. Why did they go and not me? Today, I still limp. This leg never set right. There was no doctor in the village then. The hospital had collapsed too. A surgeon looked at it 2 weeks later. He said, "It will stay this way now." Every step since then reminds me of that day. Every single step. I still go to that shore, most mornings. The town is different now, rebuilt, but the water remembers.